Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Poetry in the PM. Again, been having such a great time with you guys, reading this poetry, sharing this poetry. It's been really nice to kind of bring friends who haven't seen in a while, and old friends, new friends, all share their gifts, their languages, their cultures from around the world, and hopefully this makes us feel a little more united and connected in this very separated and sometimes divisive time. So I really want to thank all the healthcare workers out there who are working tirelessly every day. If you work in a hospital, whether you're cleaning, cooking, or a nurse or a doctor, please, thank you so much. Hope you guys know how much we appreciate you. Hope everybody's staying safe out there and washing your hands and doing all that stuff. But again, thank you to all our healthcare workers. We love you. Today's guest is Jaicy Elliot, and I'm super excited to have her on. She plays Dr. Helm on Grey's Anatomy, and she's been such a lovely addition to the show. We've had a lot of laughs together on set, and she's spent some time teaching me French and French songs, so I asked her to come on today and read a poem in French, and she obliged, and I'm very happy. So with much technical difficulty, I'm going to now try and get her on. And there she is. Oh my God. Again, I'm lucky. That's 2 in a row. I got lucky this time. Okay, there she is. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Yeah, good. How are you? My phone, of course, is just warned me that I'm out of battery, so I was like running around looking for a charger.
That's all good. But you're here. Oh, hold on.
All right, let me lock this. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
How are you doing? How are your quarantine going so far?
You know, we're doing okay. It's, I mean, I'm sure you know, it's a little alarming to, like, get all this news or handling it over there, you know? But we're okay here. I'm with family, so that's, like, been really nice. How are you guys?
How's your family in France and all that?
They're okay. We have a few cases in our family of people who are dealing with the coronavirus, so that's been a little scary, but we're gonna be okay.
I wish them well.
Yeah, thanks. Everything's good on your side, your family and everyone?
Yeah, luckily my family in Italy is doing okay.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. This is so great. I love watching you read your poems and stuff. And
great. Well, I'm glad to have you on. And I know we have a lot of French fans out there.
I know.
Lots. And so I know they would definitely get a kick out of this. So tell us a little bit about what you brought today.
So I brought this. It's actually really funny because when I came to do the quarantine at my cousin's house, I brought a bunch of books, and one of them is this poem book by Baudelaire. And it's, I got this my first year in college in Paris. It was given to me by my grandmother, and so it's always like a really special time when I open it. It's like really old and stuff, you know. It's like So yeah, they have so many really cool poems in here. These poems they exist in different versions. They're called the Spleen de Paris, and there's the prose version and then the verse version of the same poems. And this is the prose version, which I really like because they're all like individual stories, kind of. So that's really cool. And I'm gonna read the prose 32.
Okay.
It's called Enivrez-vous, which basically says, it means intoxicate yourself. And the idea is to not suffer the passing of time. We should stay intoxicated by what's around us, and everything that's fleeting is an inspiration to find, you know, creativity and appreciation for what we have around us. So it's really pretty poem.
And the translation that I'll read after you, did you translate that, or is that something you found online, or?
Yeah, I found it online last night.
Okay, perfect.
But you know how I was saying, because in the translation I gave you, it says drunk instead of intoxicated.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's just not the right
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah. I'm going to replace it with intoxicated, so
Yeah.
we get more of a thing. It's definitely like one of the challenges when I have guests who speak different languages is, you know, when I translate it in English, I want to really convey, you know, everything from the original language. And
Right.
French, like Italian, is very rich, much more words than the English language. So you guys have so many more ways of describing things, and so you don't want to have that misinterpretation happen.
Right. And I think, you know, you could go with drunk, but then it's a different understanding of the poem. And I think how you understand the poem is very personal to you. And so that's why I changed it to that, because that's what it felt like to me, is what the poem talks about.
Yeah.
But anyone could change it to anything that they think
Absolutely
what fits for them. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, well, take it away.
Okay.
Mon ami.
All right, so it's called Enivrez-vous. Il faut être toujours ivre. Tout est là, c'est l'unique question. Pour ne pas sentir l'horrible fardeau du temps qui brise vos épaules et vous penche vers la terre, il faut vous enivrer sans trêve. Mais de quoi? De vin, de poésie ou de vertu à votre guise. Mais enivrez-vous. Et si quelquefois, sur les marches d'un palais, sur l'herbe verte d'un fossé, dans la solitude morne de votre chambre, vous vous réveillez, l'ivresse déjà diminuée ou disparue, demandez au vent, à la vague, à l'étoile, à l'oiseau, à l'horloge, à tout ce qui fuit, à tout ce qui gémit, à tout ce qui roule, à tout ce qui chante, à tout ce qui parle, demandez quelle heure il est. Et le vent, la vague, l'étoile, l'oiseau, l'horloge vous répondront. Il est l'heure de s'enivrer. Pour n'être pas les esclaves martyrisés du temps, enivrez-vous sans cesse de vin, de poésie ou de vertu, à votre guise. It's really pretty. Thank you. Yeah, it's really special. I mean, this guy, you know, les fleurs du mal, which is like the what this whole, like, you know, the prose and the verse and all of that, they're all coming from that. And that, like, the fleur du mal is the name of all of it. And it's all really depressing because he was kind of a dark, somber character.
As most poets are.
What?
As most poets are at that time.
Yes, and then just add the fact that he was French and living in Paris. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, you know, a lot of what he talks about, like some of the poems, it's like, it's so relevant nowadays. You know, you see everybody doing the same 5 things. That's like what life comes down to, is like being with your people, talking, and like eating and drinking, and, or not drinking, but like, you know, doing all these things that in the end, when we are, you know, in quarantine and we're left with so very few choices of what we can be doing, all humans end up doing the same things, and find this in these poems. It's like, oh, 100 years ago, it was still the same thing.
but that's what's been so beautiful about this experiment that I've been doing with this poetry, is just like, you know, seeing how, you know, literature throughout the times and throughout the ages has just continued to be so relevant. And so I will always connect with it. Even generations past us who are zipping around in flying cars will still relate on some level to these things. They will experience love. They will experience loss. They will experience what it's like to discover their body, their sexuality. These things will never go away. So we'll always be able to look to these texts and relate to them. So I'm
we're all connected in the sense that, like, you know, your emotions are very personal to you, but we all have the same emotions. And so it's like we all feel like we're going through these very you know, unique things, but in the big scheme of the world, like we all have the same human emotions. And
definitely, and continues to make us feel like we're not alone in these experiences that we've had. Like, oh, this guy 300 years ago was going through the same thing I'm going right now.
Talk about what I just went through. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really, like, great. He made it out okay, or he drank some wine and he was okay. So
went through.
I'm gonna read it now in English. And then we can chat some more about it, okay? One must always be intoxicated. Everything lies therein. It's the only question. So as not to feel the horrible burden of time that breaks your back and bends you earthward, you must ceaselessly get intoxicated. But on what? On wine, on poetry, or on virtue? Just as you like. But get intoxicated. And if sometimes on the steps of a mansion, on the green grass of a ditch, in the bleak loneliness of your bedroom, you wake up with your intoxicatedness already diminished or disappeared, ask the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock, everything that flees, everything that moans, everything that rolls, everything that sings, everything that speaks. Ask what time it is. And the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock will answer you. It is the time for getting intoxicated, so as not to be the tortured slaves of time. Get intoxicated. Get intoxicated without ceasing on wine, on poetry, or on virtue, just as you like.
Isn't it?
That's the end of the poem.
Yeah.
So again, like Jaicy was saying, you know, the drunk, even though he mentions wine, is still metaphorical. It's about living life to the fullest, to really dive in and get drunk and take in as much as you can, whether that's love or life or your hobby or your work or your passion in life, to just immerse yourself in it fully, so you really experience what life has to offer, and you don't get bogged down by time. He mentions time in the poem, and how we can easily waste time or be, you know, taken by time and miss out on things. And sometimes we can be experiencing and be having a great life, but because we're not drunk on it and we're not fully immersed in it, we're not really aware of how amazing our life is, or how good we have it. Because we're not sort of stopping to smell the roses, as they say, you know. We can kind of get lost in our day-to-day and not really be living in the present. So it is a really, really beautiful poem that you brought. And I think in these times, like you said, it's very fitting, very apropos that we have this poem.
Apropos. No, I think it's like, if anything, this quarantine, I mean, especially from, you know, on a daily life, we're always like running around doing things, even if it's like just being, you know, on social media and all of that. There's always like, we're always kind of running after the clock. That's the expression, I think, in England, or whatever. And I think this is a good exercise for everyone to kind of just take a step back and realize in what areas of your life you want to change your relationship to time, and how you can use that to, you know, make decisions that matter more to you than things that we kind of overlook sometimes. It's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
like to sort of evaluate the things in your life that maybe you're not getting as intoxicated on as you should be.
Right. Yeah.
Not immersing yourself fully as you should be.
Totally.
Yeah. Or
have
and
you found
the opposite too.
Do
the opposite,
you do things differently? Like, is there something that you've like kind of picked up that like you didn't really do before? You didn't take the time? Yeah. See,
like
I know.
In college, I had a poetry teacher. Her name was Terry Tweed, and she was this incredible woman, and she taught us poetry. And I still have her book. I reference it in some of my readings, and I just like fell in love with poetry, and especially in the way she was making us like learn a word a day, using it in a sentence 10 times throughout that day to ingrain it into your head. We had to bring in poems every day, memorize and perform them. And I just got so into it. So then, you know, life happened and career happened. And I had all this time to just kind of sit in the first week of the quarantine. And I was just like, I haven't really like read poetry in a long time, and like sort of invested in that love and that passion that I had for it. So I started reading it, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to kind of share these poems with people and see if they connect with them? And then it was like, oh, we're so divided. Wouldn't it be cool if we could bring people from different languages and cultures to read, so to unite us more? And so I'm kind of just like flying by the seat of my pants here and making it up as I go, but I keep listening to what
That's
people
how
are saying.
everything
It's
gets
fun.
done. You know what I mean? That's like.
It's been cool to kind of see what other people are doing too. In this time to like stay
Yeah.
creative, like what other artists are doing. I have some other friends who are going to be doing like a play reading. I think like a live thing on a Zoom or I don't know how. But people
that's
just
really
stay,
cool.
engaged and creative. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
find new ways into which find new ways in which to pour their creativity and their personality and make it, I think what we've experienced, like the level of ingeniosity. No, that's not when it, the creativity, but the
Ingenuity.
yeah, ingenuity. Thank you. Like, the resourcefulness of people it's been really kind of cool and surprising, and
yeah.
It's given me a lot of appreciation for people and everything we can do if we really just take a minute and slow down, think about what we want to do.
How long has your family been with you?
So I moved in with them 3 weeks ago. We've been doing the whole quarantine together.
Are you in LA or outside of LA?
We're in Culver City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's really nice because my cousin, his boyfriend, and the kids, we're all really close, and we like play cards, and we're European, so we have we're used to doing nothing, so it's been really really nice.
Yes, sitting around a wooden table with like wine and cards is very
that's been
90%
of our time.
Yes, yeah.
And reading poems, which is why I brought this book, because I knew we would be sitting down and I actually, what you were saying earlier and how you forgot like what it felt like to read poems. I truly believe that like the word, like beauty around you changes you, and I think when you read so many beautiful words and ideas, and I think it moves you in a certain way that I really appreciate what you're doing, because I think it's bringing a lot of beauty in these dark times. So thank you for doing that.
It's been fun so far, so I'm going to keep doing it.
I'll keep watching.
All right, well, let's go to some of these comments at the bottom. And do you guys have any questions for Jaicy? You want to ask her anything you want to say? And if you're from France, speak up. We want to hear from you guys.
There's a lot of love coming through. I saw Pauline, which used to be I used to be her babysitter when I lived in Paris. And she's a grown human. It's so strange.
Oh my God.
All these people. What happened with this? Oh, Gray's questions. Yes. Also, it's given us time to, live our Grays. I've started watching season 1 again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Start from the beginning. Oh, hello from Paris.
Hello. What brought you to LA? Wow. Yes, I am French. Yeah, so I'm half French, half American, like Giacomo, the French version, but and American. So I guess you're.
I'm actually Canadian. I'm not American.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like we're both parallels of like the concept.
Definitely, North American.
Let's see.
Ciao Italia, vi amo.
Gotta
say hello to my Italian peeps.
It's so funny. All these people from all over the world. Like, also, the time in itself has disappeared, so everybody's connected all the time. So it's like I feel like I'm talking to my French family on a regular basis, and it's like it feels like we're living in the same city.
Oh, hello from France. Congrats to your days. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Do you remember the words that I taught you, Giacomo? What did we went through a few expressions, right, when we were on stage?
I remember you were trying to teach me a song.
Yes, and I know that it was a little controversial because it was
Really?
It was Ayana Kamura. It was Jaja. Oh,
Jaja. That's right. Oh, Jaja.
Not everybody likes that song, so.
Well, too bad.
You can't please everybody.
That's those people.
Bonjour, bonjour. Where?
Greetings from Greece. I'm gonna try and have a guest on who is Greek, speak a Greek poem. So
Oh, that's really
stay
cool.
tuned from Greece.
Greek is
Texas
like
loves
such
you. I think that's Portuguese. I can't read that.
Argentina. Hello, Argentina. Bonjour. Bonjour la France. Coucou d'Europol. Ah ouais. There's like true
Parla
people from
italiano, Andrea. Dai.
Grenoble, where I'm from. Huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
so
wow.
funny.
That's great.
Iceland. Hello. Where'd you?
My mom is asking questions, by the way.
Oh, where is she?
My mom keeps popping up asking questions. I missed the last one.
What's her name?
I think it was. I think she was asking, do you work in France as well, or have you done any acting or art in France?
I have done. I was a theater actor in France. And that's as much as I've done. I want to eventually go home. I'd love to go home to work, like, spend a few months in France just for a movie or something.
Me too.
That would be okay.
That would be pretty okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's the plan. I'd like to work in France as much as I can. I was actually meant to go home and meet a few agents, like in like a few weeks, but that's not gonna happen now. But
so many plans canceled or
I know.
postponed.
That's okay. It's okay. Te amo. I love you too, you guys. This is wonderful. Have you worked in Italy?
Have I worked in Italy? One of my first jobs actually was in Italy. Before I even went to theater school, I was just I moved after high school back to Rome for a couple of years, and I was just trying to kind of break into the scene, and so I was doing like little play readings and just kind of trying to connect with the community. Mm-hmm. And then finally, after a year, I got an agent, and then I started doing like, going out for auditions for like Pizza Hut commercials and just stupid, humiliating, dumb things like that. And then I'm like, this is not what I want to do, but okay.
Pizza Hut.
And then right before I left, of course, as they always say, if you want to book a job, book a plane ticket. And that's exactly what happened to me. I'd kind of a little bit given up on working in Italy professionally in TV and film. And so I booked a ticket back to Toronto in Canada, where I was going to go to theater school, where I was accepted. And then my agent called me and was like, oh, you got this like guest star role on this medical show, actually. And it was a guest star on this show called Medicina Generale, which is
like General Hospital.
Yeah, General Hospital kind of thing. And I was like the drug addict son of some patient who was dying in the hospital, and it was like his dying wish was to see his son. And so the doctors like go under this bridge, and he's like a junkie, and they find him and they get him to like reconnect with his father.
Emotional, huh?
But it was like weird because I had really never, been on, TV since I was like a really small child. So it was a lot of new things. They had to like cut my hair all weird. I think I had like a mohawk. And it kind of looked like
I'd like to see that footage.
I'll send you a photo. It's pretty funny. I had like all these fake piercings and tattoos and stuff. And I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
Fun times. But I'd like to work more, definitely. So, but as you know, Grays is just like a big shoot.
It's a full time.
Much, so it's like
yeah.
But yeah, well, I hope when all this is over,
I feel like we've been cut off. Sorry.
I hope that when this is all over, you can go to France and start getting some of that stuff going, because that would be cool.
That would be really cool. We'll see.
Yeah. Is there any cool? Because I know like over the past couple of years, like England and certainly Italy has been coming out with some pretty cool, both television and film. That's not the regular kind of soap opera-y stuff that's known for, but some cool gritty stuff. Is there anything like in France that's on like Netflix or any of those things that?
Over like the last maybe 5 years, there's been quite a bit of like there was this one show. Do you watch French television at all? No, maybe not.
No.
Why would you? There's this one show it was Call My Agent is the name in English. In French, it was 10%. And it was about, like, agents, like, actors' agents in Paris. But what it was like real actors playing themselves, and then you would follow the agents, and it was kind of cool. And I was kind of hoping to be, like, myself trying
Right. But was it like a comedy, like The Office or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
That was really funny too.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of French television. There's a lot of, like, soap opera stuff out there that I thought that was pretty cool. And then I started watching recently this one. It's kind of end of society, end of the world, kind of apocalypse. Not apocalyptic in terms that it's like nothing. It's like it's the fall of society. You know what I mean? The downfall of society. It's called L'Effondrement, and you can watch it on YouTube, and it's so good. It's so well shot, and it makes me want to go home and do some stuff with them.
Yeah,
so
Because when I was younger, it's like there wasn't a lot of really great high quality stuff that was happening that was then obviously like talked about in America or like nominated for things in America. But in the past like 5 to 8 years, we've had stuff that has gotten a lot of recognition from American Hollywood, and a lot of those directors now are working in American television and American films and stuff. So it's kind of a cool time for Europe. I think they're having like a resurgence in like wanting to stop doing that kind of daytime soap opera-y kind of stuff and really invest.
Like upping their game a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm glad, because it's like for people like you and I who have like those EU passports to be able to go home and work.
Totally. And like growing up, I would always watch American shows because, you know, that kind of sucked. And it's nice that it's nice to see, like, especially being here, it's nice to see shows where like it makes me feel like I'm at home, you know, and I'm also like enjoying it because it's all so good. And so
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like really special. We'll see. I mean, it's great to work in Hollywood. It opens a lot of doors too. So that's like
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of French Canadian stuff that I'm sure you're aware of.
You know what? Yes.
We have a massive, I mean, it's like its own industry. Like Canada has an industry of, you know, film television. Obviously that's massive. But Quebec, our French province, has really its own star system, its own, you know, not Hollywood, but its own sort of system there. And they make a ton of amazing film and television that's so good.
And everybody goes to Canada to shoot stuff. It's like it's a big thing. Also, Spanish television is really good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Spanish films, not too much television, but.
Spanish films, amazing. Actually, it's funny. I just finished reading Almodovar biography. So amazing, so great. Cool. But they've come. I don't know if you've seen Casa del Papel. I think it's called Bank Heist or The Heist or something like that. It's a Spanish show. It's amazing. They have a lot of really good television that they even for some reason. I was thinking about that actually this morning. I wouldn't mind working.
Someone was telling me you can like you can change your VPN, like your where the computer registers your computer, and then you can have access to like all the Netflix and all the titles from that country, which is cool. Yeah. You're smiling like you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, you know how they took Friends down in America, and it's been like a huge thing, and everybody's freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
They still have it in France, so I've had to like buy a VPN in order to like watch.
You're like, what can I can't possibly live without Friends.
Never. I actually, yeah. Do you watch Friends?
I don't. I'm not a hater. I love the show. I'm just not like I watch it.
Yes, I think I grew up with it, so it was like it's like part of my DNA at this point. But I had to like get my French Netflix in order to watch that because it was just not going to happen otherwise. So it's not good.
Well, thank you so much for coming
I
on the
just
show
wanted
today.
to say,
I'll let you finish. Yeah.
someone asked like what was our favorite scene that we did together. I had a really fun time shooting. You know, when you're with the patient, you're trying to get her a surgery, and I snap at you. Yeah, I call you out. I go like,
yeah.
And I just want to say that episode, Giacomo, it was so good.
Oh, great. Lovely.
I was just like, we watched it here, and everybody was just like, it was washed right over, over us. It was really, I was very happy.
Yeah, that storyline and some other ones were just kind of ramping up. So it's sad we had to cut the season short. But hopefully next season we can continue all that stuff and people can keep seeing what's going on. And we got one more episode. It was sad because we shot 22, but it didn't go through post. So
I know.
It was like, but we shot it though. Like it's all there.
Like right there.
I know. But no go.
I know. A lot of good stories coming our way.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for having me.
Live. And thank you for the poem that you brought. That was very beautiful. Definitely, before we sign off, everybody get more intoxicated and dive into all the things that you love and invest in them.
Yeah.
Before time runs out. Okay?
There you go. Thanks,
Sending love to you all. Thank you, Jaicy. And everybody go follow Jaicy on Instagram and check out what she's doing, okay? Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao. Au revoir.
Ciao.